Joining us from the Pacific Northwest, the band, the legend, the real thing, Limberlost. How you doing? Like how I did that? Like how I did that? Set it up for you because you got a brand new song, and that's what you're here to talk about.
No, this is a song that I wrote. It was around Christmas time. I sat down and was kind of thinking about some of the things, I've been through in my life and relationships and stuff, and how I, at one point, thought that I had to change who I was to get someone to love me. And I grew up and I learned that that was not the thing to do. So this is that song about realizing that about myself, and also realizing that I need to be aware of that the other person in the relationship deserves that same kind of treatment as well. So it's really cool perspective.
Now, did the lyrics come first, or did you kind of put it all together at like some jam session?
This one actually just kind of came all together. I was just sitting, playing with the guitar, messing around with GarageBand on my iPhone, having a good time. So it came together pretty quickly. I sent it out to the band, and once we got to jamming, we put another verse and a bridge on it pretty quickly. It's always fun when they come together without too much wrestling, without too much arguments and beating each other over the head with it.
The best one of the best.
Yeah.
Oh, we had it for 3 weeks and played it live.
That was incredible.
Yeah.
Usually we have a song
From
for a month.
Right. usually deep into Jeff before we let everybody hear it.
There were 3 times like, that's pretty good.
So you just wrote the lyrics and played the acoustic for them and sent it off? Is that what you were doing?
No, actually, I play some electric guitar and stuff, so I...
Oh, you can rock too now. Oh, geez, she can sing and she can rock on guitar.
I'm so excited and proud because I sent it off to Ricky, and I'm like, you can totally fix those guitar lines and make them something different. But he actually ended up keeping a lot of what I did, so that was kind of neat.
How long were you in the studio with the song?
Well, that's interesting.
Cumulatively. It was an interesting process. So we had started recording before all of the shelter-at-home orders were issued. Yeah. So we had gotten to the point where the last thing we needed was vocals. So the team kind of muscled it out and got a computer and some recording gear over to my house, and we shoved some clothes out of the way in my closet.
Yep.
And Dave and I got together on FaceTime, and he walked me through setting it up, and we recorded the vocal tracks at my house and sent those over and kind of pieced it together. And so we've got some great memories of kind of working the situation as it is to get this one done. But we did it.
Yeah.
In the end.
It came in a little separately. Every time for this one, which is different.
Yeah, well, it was, what was funny about it was kind of, we kind of built it from the ground up, rhythm section, so on and so forth. And then, and then we had another project that kind of came in right that we knew was coming, but we wanted to see how far we could get with this, and then we put it on hold. And we had another producer we work with, and he came in and we did this other project in the midst of it. And then we kind of got around the other side of it and said, okay, now it's time to finish this one. And all of a sudden, here comes the flu, or excuse me, the COVID, and everything shuts down, and people, So then, like Crystal said, we just kind of, muscled through it. Tony flew his part in. Crystal got hers done. Brittany, I think we were the last 2 in through the background.
Yeah, we were the last one.
And then handed it off to Dave, and you've got it in your hot little hands.
I do, and we're going to hear it in a little bit. Now, is this part of a bigger thing where you're putting together songs for an album, or what's the idea here?
Yeah. Well, we've got a few songs in reserve. This is our 4th single that will be on the new album that will be released. We've released See What You Want last year. In fact, that's a banger award winner.
That's right.
And we released our cover of Jolene, and we just released The Setting Sun here about 2.5 months ago. Probably be the last single release before another project we're working on that's going to be part of the album comes out. And so we've got 4 more songs. 2 were produced by international producer Timothy Eden. So we're going to kind of roll into that mode after this single has had a chance to run a little bit. And then just depending on how everything pans out through the summer, we hope to drop the whole album. And the album will be called Good Fight, the title track. I think I've actually shared that with you. But
any secrets you send me are perfectly secret, trust me. I'm like the Pentagon.
I think you've gotten a sniff. So anyway, that's the title track. And this song has actually very quickly wormed its way into the lead track. So this will be the lead track on the new album.
And it's a great song. When you were a kid, who were the influences that brought all the soul out of you?
Oh, man. So I was raised, like, in a band room. My dad's been in rock bands since I was a little kid. We always had music around the house. I was raised on, like, an odd mix of Neil Diamond and ZZ Top and Bon Jovi.
That's a nice mix.
Yeah, and there's actually a singer named Crystal Lewis who was pretty influential in my younger years. She was a Christian artist who came out and had a lot of soul. And she kind of gave me permission, I felt, to really dig into the way I sang. And so it's just been a part of who I am. And yeah.
I mean, I heard a little Motown soul in there. Just a little bit. Oh, yeah. Like, I was like, wow, that reminds me of home.
I got to give a little props here on some of that Motown feel because good old Brittany showed up with a bag of background vocals.
Oh, yeah. Whole bag of tracks.
That we hadn't actually done live yet.
Oh, well, that tends to be the case because I can't sing 5
minutes. And her and I are sitting in here. We had some ideas of what we want to do. And actually, her and I talked a little bit about some of the oohs and ahs things, but she rolled in with a few other little ideas and
just nailed it to the wall.
Yeah.
It must.
When we're jamming in the room, Crystal's like, "Oh, I just hear this like Supreme, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like 60s chorus." So it's so interesting you find that Motown in there because I'd say that's
what we were shooting for.
A little bit. We wanted to have that, backup girls.
Yeah.
Doing the dance.
I was really feeling the Andrews sisters.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Slightly different era, but yeah. I'm old.
So, Brady, when you came into the band, it must be like a dream come true.
Oh, yeah. It was awesome.
Say the right things now, yeah.
A Cinderella story, me joining this band, because I happened to be singing at a concert. I was invited up on stage at a different concert in Seattle. I think this was at the Crying Tiger.
Yes.
It was. Another local band, Blue Helix, invited me on stage to sing one of their songs, and Mike happened to be in the audience. Comes up to me and is like, "Hey," his wife comes up to me actually and says, "Hey, so, we're part of this band, and my husband is this band. It's really cool, and they're looking for a singer, and you're really awesome, and it'd be so funny if you played keys too." And I went, "That would be funny."
Yeah,
right. I do play piano. So I showed up and kind of showed them what I could do and my skill set. And I had heard of them before. I had seen a lot of the Facebook stuff and had followed them a little bit around. I hadn't had the opportunity to see you guys live yet. So the first time I got to see them live was when I was auditioning with them. And I remember the first time that I was sent a Limberlost song and I just really sat down and listened to it with a new set of ears because I was considering joining this band. And I heard Crystal's voice and I went, "Oh my God." Oh my God. She's so good, and there's so much similarity in color between us. Like, I was hearing certain melodies I do back at myself from this person I never met going, "Whoa."
Did you say melisma?
I did say melisma.
Okay.
She's a music. I did. I'll lay down the theory on you if you don't watch out.
Real? You can always go for real. And we got together and tried it out and sang a little bit, and it just fit.
It worked, yeah.
Why don't we introduce the new song to everybody? Put the team effort into this one now.
Well, hey, Banger Universe, you're listening to Limberlost, our new single,
The Real Thing.
Are you ready?
Are you ready?